Hi, welcome back to my compost bins. Today we're going to talk about how often you should flip your piles. Now the very simple answer on this, for those of you that just want a simple answer, is every 3 to 4 days. But it's a little more complicated than that. Do you really want to be flipping compost every 3 to 4 days? If you think that sounds like fun, go check out one of my other videos on flipping compost. It's not so fun. So what's a better gauge than just every 3 to 4 days? Well, the first thing is use a thermometer. Put the thermometer into the compost. If it's still rising in temperature, don't flip it. It's already doing its job. As long as the temperature keeps rising, you're doing good. Now, once it gets up to the hot zone, between 130 to 160, keep it there. That's where you want it. But as soon as it starts coming back down, maybe back down to 130, then you can flip it. And by flipping it at that point, you're adding oxygen and you're kind of moving around all those microorganisms and everything to other spots of the pile to have more to munch on, and then you'll see the temperature rise back up again. And you can do that as a cycle. Rises up, comes back down, flip it. Rises up, comes back down, flip it. Rises up, come back down, flip it. Pretty simple. Another technique that a lot of us do is just build a 3-bin system like this one. Bin number 1, bin number 2, bin number 3 over here. This is where all your new stuff goes. When it fills up, you flip it into bin number 2. Once it's over here in bin number 2, you can kind of keep a closer eye on it with a thermometer and say, okay, it's up to a hot zone, but now it's coming back down. You flip it into bin number 3. Once it's in bin number 3 and the temperature rises, then comes back down, flip it back into bin number 2. And you can do that for a while until it gets pretty steady. And you're going to notice that's actually turning into pretty good compost. At some point, you're going to say, okay, we're done. And you keep it in bin number 3. That's your done compost pile. And a good 3-bin system, it's made where the sides let in as much air as possible. So you don't really have to flip unless you really just want to flip. You can keep it in here, and the air kind of gets in on the sides as much as possible. And then when you're ready, you flip. I mean, think about it. Each of these bins are about a cubic yard and a half or so. It's 4.5 cubic yards together. How much compost do you really need? Do you really need as much as possible all the time? Probably not. It's okay for it to take a little longer than, ideal. You can have it take a few extra weeks, even extra months. It's fine. How much compost do you need? Now, if you really do need to maximize and get as much compost as you can, fine, flip a lot more often. Ideal scenario for me, I'd like to have 3 in the spring and 3 in the fall. That's it. I don't need more than that. But I can get by with just 2 in the spring and 1 in the fall. So I'm okay with this taking a full year to compost. That's okay with me. So I don't need to be flipping every 3 to 4 days or you really keep track of the temperature left and right. But you do you. If you really need to maximize the composting process, you want to compost as quickly as possible, then there are a lot of great websites for that. I'll leave a few in the description below, but it does require a lot more work. So you do you. Hope this helps. Thanks for watching. Cheers.